think it's I think it's all the blood that's supposed to be in my brain is actually in my chest right now, and it's like a thick congealed fluid in my.
It's a thickener
in my lungs.
It's a warmer and a thickener. All right, so this is an important post that I found on Facebook here that we're going to check out. I am not sure what Facebook is anymore, as I've let my page sit fallow for years now. Occasionally, I'll trim the fat, deleting photos or posts and comments from people who don't even know me. I'll sign in sporadically, usually to keep up to date on something or another, some drama or some once-a-friend's life trajectory, notice who's aging well and who is not, or simply scroll and take note that everyone is either having kids or very angry about something. So I don't know what this thing is, some unfortunate and hideously designed merry-go-round of people who aren't even that relevant to me anymore, but whom I don't ever want to unfriend for some weird reason, who I cannot shed completely. Now, because of the pandemic, I am faced with the prospect, alongside all of my fellow humans, of mourning the loss of my previous lives, my previous selves, and this somehow inspires a question of returning to the platform. So, stock tip, Facebook use going up because of the pandemic, confirmed by this retard. I'm waiting to feel nostalgic for my KI days. I don't know what that is. But that hasn't come yet. I doubt I will, because that experience was filled with a sort of insularity and shared delusions that one can only ever be glad to be removed from. It must be nice to be insane. Because you get to go your whole life. You get to go, if you live if you make it that long, you live to the age 85, and the whole time you're just thinking, I'm insane. And it's like comforting. You know what I mean? This is nice. I'm insane.
It's consistent.
It's consistent. It's got, there's nothing.
Stability.
There's nothing unexpected. Look at this. Look. There's nothing unexpected in this person's life. Fucking anal. You know what we're going to do? Hey, Evan, can you come here and put some pieces of paper under the table so it's not on a slant, so this thing stops?
This maple tobacco is fire. This maple tobacco is really good.
Testing. Are my levels still good? There we go. Now I understand why it's the best in the industry. Now I understand why this is one of the best in the industry. This microphone arm. And now at this point we can reveal to our audience who the maker is. This is a Yellowtech arm. Okay? So you at home out there, check it out. Joe Rogan's got the Iron Neck deal. We have the Yellowtech arm deal. If you want the best microphone arm in the business that will never frustrate you and will never make you want to whip an old person in the face with a antenna or anything like that, you want the microphone arm that's going to de-stress your life, declutter your life, and be visually beautiful, aesthetically beautiful. I'll give them that much. It is a nice piece. This is the Yellowtech arm by Yellowtech. And it's only $500 per arm, so it's actually a bargain of the century as well.
And it was $30 to solder XLRs to the tip to the.
Well, if you want certain extras, premium extras, like having the XLR thing work or having the screws that go into the table, the extras that you normally wouldn't get, that's another €30.
This tobacco is fire. This and the apricot.
It's apricot. Also, was it their fault that it got shipped to the wrong address, or was that our fault?
I don't know.
I won't be mad at you.
It's their fault.
I think it was their fault. Fuck them. All right.
Is it apricot or is it apricot? Because
stop saying apricot. It's
I always thought it was apricot, but then I started hearing apricot so often.
God, man, come on.
That I thought it must have been apricot.
If it's dried, it's apricot.
Just have some confidence. If anyone says apricot, you just.
I'm confident.
Just walk away.
I feel confident when I fit in.
Well, I feel confident when I am being a contrarian. I like to go against the grain. I like to have my own custom way of pronouncing words. Are these things smoke resistant? Yes, they are. It's the industry standard microphone. It has to be smoke resistant. Okay, so I wanted to continue. This is my blog that I wrote. I've been dwelling more in the 2007 to 2009 period. This was written in 2020, so this person is talking about their own life period from 13 years ago. They're dwelling more in that period. When I went out every night, my high school girlfriends lived in the city during the summer, and we somehow circulated in nightlife environments, turning strangers into friends, dancing and sweating all over each other at this revolving roster of nightly parties. Side note, at this point, she declined to hook up with me based on fears that I had an STD. Sound bite, please. Sound drop. I had a lot of pain in these times because I was basically a feral infant grasping around for my swaddling blanket and instead finding a euphoric haze of stimulants and alcohol. Damn.
Is it worth
Are women okay?
Is it worth being that eloquent with your words?
No. I think it makes you look silly. I think it makes you look bad.
Because sometimes
I don't think there's any point where you should be this eloquent. I think it's in poor taste.
Word. Because sometimes I'd be like, damn, I'm not very eloquent. Like, I used to be a lot more eloquent when I was younger.
I think that's a point. You should take that as a point of pride. I think you communicate very effectively. And I think that
because I be feeling like I've let myself over the years get like super retarded.
No, you're fine. This person is super retarded. This is fucking embarrassing.
That's what I was just thinking. That's why I asked that, because I was like, well, like I wouldn't be able to like offer. I mean, who knows how long you spent fucking typing this, but like I was thinking
you should try to be like a samurai in all things. The way of the samurai. It is a way of directness. And that's all. That's the main. That's what it is. It is the way of directness.
I'm not a beat around the busher.
No, you're not.
I do not beat around the bush.
Okay, so back to my blog that I wrote. I don't think I'm alone in pining for a certain era of New York which has passed. It was sort of impossible for me to have fun after 2009, and I'm sure this is a combination of factors, including my getting older. This breathing is insane. I thought I was going to make the breathing better. It sounds, oh man, oh my goodness. It was sort of impossible for me to have fun after 2000, blah, 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 because I'm getting older, expressing my pain in different, more wellness-adjacent avenues. That's heavy. More wellness-adjacent avenues. And I think people stopped hanging out in Manhattan, everyone who wanted some part of the fun that was happening in the 90s to aughts. That's sickening. Happening in the 90s to aughts came to New York.
Aughts?
Like 2000s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Came to New York, and then it just sort of collapsed a few years after I moved here. Nonetheless, I imagine that the dance floor, quote-unquote dance floor, is now a very potent symbol for our collective nostalgia for a pre- and post-pandemic world in which we can be together, sweat on each other, bump into and smell each other. And I'll point out again, this girl stopped hooking up with me because she was afraid that I had STDs. I think about myself during this time period. I was narcissistically wrapped tight in my blanket of substances, but I was also trying to relate to the people around me, to bump into them, to communicate something to them, to show them my
cock
dance moves. That's the twist, is that it's a guy. And to gain some sense of acknowledgement. A simple one like, oh, she's delightful.
Was she in the 1920s?
Women really just be having...
Oh, she's just delightful.
Well, you know what? It's like, oh, she's delightful. Like the life of the party. Oh, look at her. She's charismatic. She's on fire.
Girls really care about like being present. Like they think being present's this like or having a presence.
Being at the center of attention, you mean? You don't mean
that's how they try to word it though, is like having a presence.
You don't mean being present in the Eckhart Tolle sense of enjoying the moment. You mean having the light on them.
Yeah, or feeling like they are being paid attention to.
Yeah.
Like they want to.
Well, I'm giving this one. I'm giving her attention. I'm giving her attention now because I'm fucking stalking her.
You think she's hot?
No.
You don't?
No, and she's old too.
I thought this was a guy the whole time.
She writes like a fucking guy.
What is this?
This is a girl I hooked up with back in high school days.
And this is, what is this from?
It's from her Facebook.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is still the same what happened to Facebook?
Mm-hmm. This is who's using Facebook nowadays. This is why I don't own any Facebook stock.
I thought these were two different stories because it's been so long.
Same thing. It's just a post. It's an insane post that I found as I was stalking her.
Very good. Very good find.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Because it's organic.
This is the most organic thing I've ever seen. Another part of my mourning process is to lament all of the skills and capabilities that I never developed. Hint, hint. Dear reader, dear audience, look at the object lesson here. Another part of my mourning process is to lament all of the skills and capabilities that I never developed. So you spend 15 years, your whole adult life, from age 20 to age 35, bopping around in dance clubs, sweating on other people, thinking that I have an STD. You're in New York, fucking bartenders, and you think I'm the one with the STD? Fucking retard bitch! I'm gonna get you.
I thought that
I'm gonna stalk you.
What made me think this was a guy?
I'm gonna stalk. He play a drop. I'm gonna stalk you.
Look at the top of
I thought this was a guy at first.
Yeah. Well, she has a very masculine way of thinking.
When you said she wouldn't hook up with me because when you said she wouldn't hook up with me because she thought I had STDs, I thought that was part of the story. But
no, that's me. That's my interjection. Sorry for the anybody out there confused right now.
So she was not hot.
She was hella hot. She was super hot. She was pretty hot. She's okay. She had a good body.
Yeah. Was she a butterface? When
she was 18. No, her face is like normal.
Smoking.
All right.
She had a good body, and she used to fuck me while I was driving. Which I used to be able to get hard enough to do that. She would sit on my lap while I was driving, which was crazy. She was crazy.
It was pretty lit.
It was lit. Yeah, she was psycho. We were. Ooh,
fuck me while I'm driving.
Yeah.
While you're driving.
My fault. I know.
No, I said that wrong.
No, it was my fault. Capabilities that I never developed, like how it is that I cannot write songs, understand how music is made, become an expert at making my feelings and thoughts, concepts and images that catch in the throat, etc., tangible for other people, the way some can? ? I could try to learn it now. No. This is Patrice O'Neill has the funniest, best way of breaking this down. That all that shit. You're gonna, and I've talked about this on Instagram, and I've caught some flack for this. People have hit me up. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm in school right now, and I'm 32. I learned how to program in Python at age 33. So
I got pressed about that one.
I got an entry-level job. Now I'm an intern at a tech company at age 36. Fuck you, Sam. That's crazy. Old people thinking. That's Patrice O'Neill stand-up, which you should watch if you ever want to watch stand-up. It's the best stand-up. But talking about how continuing education, just give it up. If you're 40 or 50 years old, you're going to school. Nah, it ain't happening. I could try to learn it now. And imagine the music she would make. This brain, this mega brain, this potent weapon of musicality. What is it going to create? Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Tune yards. It would sound like tune yards probably, but it wouldn't be as polished. I could try to learn it now, but it would have to be slated to the back burner till my MA thesis is done. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. I remember one time we were hooking up, and she was back from college, and she was excited to tell me about queer theory. And so we were fucking.
Do you think this guy is queer?
We were fucking in public on some grass, and afterwards she says, "I'm doing my paper on queer theory." And I was like, "What the fuck is that? Queer? This is not about gay stuff. Queer theory is about." I don't remember. I kept asking her what it was about, and she said it's not about gay stuff. It's about how. And then she said, children are queer. And I just tuned out. I was like, oh.
Bruh.
I like thinking of queer theory as like speculating on someone's sexuality.
This is what's so funny. This is from back in 2004. She was going to school, learning about queer theory, and they were telling her in school that children are queer. And this is, she made it clear that it's not talking about in the sense of like gay sex, but like whatever fucking weird definition she had for queer. And then she was telling me that she learned that children are queer, and she's going to some art school in New York City. It's fucking
that makes sense.
Off the chain, man. This stuff was. This is in 2004. Imagine what they're telling people now. This is so fun. So I'm thinking. This is what the post says. Continuing the post. Back burner till my MA thesis is done. So I'm thinking, should I start at least using Facebook, Instagram, etc. again? She's searching, she's soul searching for that creative animus, that spirit, that driving force. She wants to tap into the driving force. She wants to manifest. She wants to build cathedrals, divine cathedrals that reach for the heavens. And she wants that proclamation. She wants to be that arrow pointing in the darkness. So I'm thinking, should I start at least using Facebook, Instagram, etc. again? Can we get a drop on that one? I think after this episode we got to be done with bruh completely. No? All right. Do it again. She wants to tap into the conduit that underlies all life, the spirit of mankind. She wants to tune into that and use that and propel further into the depth, the future, whatever. So I'm thinking, should I start at least using Facebook, Instagram, etc. again? Can I find some way of expressing myself in these mediums now that there is not much hope to bump into some stranger and delighting them? Who are these people who... So she's now that she can't be a thought in the clubs, she wants to go on Instagram and be a thought there. And this is the shroud that this is cloaked in. Who are these people who might find a post I'd make in their feed? Do they know or care about me anymore or less than the stranger on the dance floor? Can people bump up against each other and be weird here, or is this another empty space where it's impossible to simply delight in each other? And then after that, I put a side note. My mom walked in on me fucking this girl. This is, she should link up with Gary Vaynerchuk.